Right, morning guys. So after the long trip down from Liverpool yesterday, I came down in my trusty ex-police Volvo, which is another story which I might go into later. But we are here down in Norfolk to sort out the 300 TDI finally. So we've got a whole heap of jobs. I've got 3 days to get everything sorted for the MOT on Friday at 4 o'clock. So fingers crossed we can get it all done. Now, all the engine work has pretty much been done. We've just noticed that the header tank's got a leak, so that needs replacing. All the electrics need doing, so that's my job. The swivels need doing at the front, it needs a new prop, but the biggest job is the chassis needs welding, because that is far worse than we imagined. So strangely enough, and I did mention this in a couple of videos I think before, I don't know if I posted them yet, but there is a fuel tank cross member on the 110, and rarely it will go, it will rot. It's always the one next to it that goes, but this has completely shot. So we've managed to get a replacement cross member. I've raptored it ready to go in. We've just got to obviously strip out the old one. Now every time I'm on something today, I'm going to quickly grab the camera and show you guys what I'm doing. And hopefully I'm going to post this every day for the next 3 days. And then eventually we'll have a result at the end of the week. But that is the first video, so we are getting started. So I think this is actually the first time I will have seen underneath on a ramp, because before that it's just been crawling underneath, so I'm worried, if I'm honest. It's going to be pretty hideous. So that's what we've got to deal with. Now I've got new outriggers, I've got new brackets as well. I've got 4 of these, but we might not need them all actually. And then where are we? You can see there, look, there's the fuel tank cross member that's gone. Blimey. Yeah. I'm amazed. Oh geez, I'm amazed that tank's even still there. But anyway, we're going to get this all out and check the tank. I've got a feeling I'm going to need a tank as well, but we'll have a look. So that's my job today. Yeah, there is plenty of rust. So tank's out. And that is the cross member we've been talking about. Now I'm thinking, because it didn't come with one of these hanger brackets, we might be able to cut that off.
Yeah, we'll give it a go. Yeah.
And use it again, maybe, because it's not all.
Solid, doesn't it?
Yeah, or make something similar. Well, how far do you go? I mean, you know, yes, we all know it could do with a half chassis, but that might not make it into the States with one of them. So we just got to make good what we got.
Then you're totally compromised.
Yep, the whole purpose of buying it. Okay, so this is the tank. Now I'm going to go over it with a wire brush. It doesn't seem compromised. I think that's the right word. It does seem a bit grim. I could paint it up. I'm going to find out what a new one's going to cost me. Because, I mean, to be fair, it wasn't a big deal getting it out at all. And if it works, it works. But, yeah, we'll give that a look at. I've got the cross member out now. It was a bit tricky, to be fair. So there's a combination of cutting discs and the reciprocating saw. Now I've not taken it back just yet because I want to see how much room the new cross member takes up. And you can see I've just tried to sort of go through this material here just to see how solid it is. It is solid. I mean, it is scabby as anything, but it does seem solid. So pretty happy with that. Gav's busy doing the swivels on the front. We're just having a little look. Where's that thing? So on the drive shaft here, you can see they're starting to point up and they're not very good. So we're going to put some new ones of those on as well. But again, more scab in there. I mean, there are some good bits, by the way. There's a good bit, look, at the top. So it's not all bad. Anyway, we'll crack on. I'll get this cleaned up now and we'll offer up the cross member and see if it sits in there nicely. Oh, and by the way, I've cut also the mount off. So down here, this is the mount that we were missing, and it's pretty solid. So I think what we're going to do is just trim that off, and we're going to weld that back on. So I'll trim this piece off here, but that will all be welded back on. I'll give it a clean. We've got all new mounting hardware, so luckily we can use that again. What we found with that cross member is it's a little bit wedged. So it's designed, I think, to be dropped in from the top, which means that it's a little bit of a tight fit. So I'm having to lose some of the meat off the very top sections so we can slide it in from underneath. So it makes sense to go in from the top, but that's what we're stuck with. So I'm just basically taking more meat off that rather than the chassis, because, you know, we don't know how good the chassis is. We don't want to make it any thinner if we can't help it. Oh yeah, and also we found out that the near side outrigger, the bulkhead outrigger, just isn't good enough. So we're going to have to remove that and put a new one in. So I've got quite a list of things we need from the guys. They're all little incidentals, to be fair, like, you know, rubber mounts for the exhaust. We need another seal for the swivel housing, some retaining plates, the metal ones that go on the back. All these little things that you kind of forget are in the kit. So, well, I don't think they're in the kit. They don't seem to be in our kit anyway. But little bits and pieces. But yeah, outrigger, that's a big one. And also the drive shafts, both sides. But, you know, it's on the ramp. We might as well do all this work now. While we've stripped everything off, there's no point rebuilding a swivel if you know the output shaft's crap, because, well, you're just doing the job more than once. We don't want that. So yeah, it's about 11:30, so we've done really well, I think. It's only taken a couple of hours to get that completely out. I reckon another half an hour it'll be ready to weld in.
Let's flush with the bottom, hasn't it?
Yeah. Right, managed to find a mask, so I'm less dusty now. But here is the old bracket. So I've managed to trim all the old metal off. I think rust converter on there, then we'll get it welded on, then I'll try and get some wax all in the back of it. But that is the bracket that was missing, so we've now managed to salvage this. Right, let's get this cleaned up and then we're ready to hopefully get it all in place. We've got new brackets and the outrigger, so I'm just going to start taking it apart bit by bit, I think. Okay, so we have got the cross member in now, the brackets welded on. We offered up the cradle, let's get that wide. We offered up the cradle first to make sure that was in the right place. All welded up, we're gonna seam seal it now, leave it overnight, and then we'll be ready just to finish it off, wax all it, and get it all tidied up, ready to put the new tank in. Slather that on. Well guys, I think that is nearly the end of today, so I hope you enjoyed watching what we've done. So we have cut all the old rot out. One of the outriggers has gone. I've got to do the front bulkhead outrigger tomorrow, the near side, because that's gone and we're going to replace that as well. It's gone really well, and actually that bracket, or rather the cross member, went in a treat. So Gav's just seam sealing it now. We've got it all welded in. But yeah, tomorrow, hopefully all those bits that Steve was chatting to me about earlier, which you just saw, are going to be here. We've got a pre-12 delivery, so hopefully they'll be here nice and early. We can get the tank in. That'll be one of the first jobs. That'll probably be something I'll be doing. And then we can get the front swivels complete. I would imagine we'll probably do the outrigger before we do the swivel on the near side, give us a bit more room. But yeah, that's it for now. So I hope you enjoyed today. So from me and Gav, it's cheerio, and I'll catch you, not on the next one, but tomorrow.